It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Play fake, Brissett. And his first pass is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up second down. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Brissett. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Brissett. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. And he's going to go down again. Alex Anzalone, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Brissett, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
But that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Elijah McGuire with it, the 3rd-year man from Louisiana. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They run with McGuire, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Elijah McGuire with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league. But
T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Out of the gun, Brissett. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Marcus Davenport has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Brissett. Ebron with it over the middle. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, here's McGuire. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
95-56, 95-56, 36.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 9 carries, 76 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 26, check 26.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Anthony Walker, the other Colts linebacker with over 100 tackles a year ago, making the play there.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
A third down run with McGuire. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Elijah McGuire with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this off. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a...
Funchess is free. 30, 10, touchdown Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And it's been a Terry now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. They've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Brees going to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brees. Off to Thomas on the left side. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
He goes 21, 21.
On the ground, Kamara. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
5'8", 5'8".
It's our turn.
Easy, opposite. Hey, kill.
Snap comes at 1, and now Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz will look to add the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. But they have to...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
If I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Mack, draw play. Got some room at the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit up.
And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Davenport in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a ball. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. On third down, a run by Mack. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Now Breeze. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Stop your whining. Hey, switch. Hey, Q kill. Hey, easy. Here we go.
The final shot before half for Breeze. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Brissett. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Marcus Davenport racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. from the shotgun. It's Brissett. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Here we go with Kamara. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They run on second down with McGuire. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A give to Kamara running right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Kamara trying the right side. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up 4th down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Brissett now. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw, Brissett. He's going to loft one. And that's caught inside the 35. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Brissett on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Brissett sets to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Brissett. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Here we go.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Kamara. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Breeze is looking to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd? And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it, just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and meet.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing.
Under pressure, they got him again. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Brissett. And he's going to go down again. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing, Brissett, and the pressure gets to him again. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Brees going to throw here. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally